everyone, welcome again. We're talking about rent versus buy, and we're looking at properties in Nigeria and looking at what is available out there. So we had to kind of map out what we are looking for, what are the specific things that we need in a property, and we decided to look at certain areas that we felt are nice. So we looked at certain areas in Lagos, and believe you me, the rent that they were calling their rent, if you need to pay that rent, you might as well start looking for money to buy, because at the end of the day, by the time you are paying that kind of rent, it will just be too much to sustain that kind of payment. So if you are renting, you want a decent neighborhood. That's number one. You want a gated estate. Number two, you want a place where you can have at least good supply of light, good water, there's no much traffic, good road. And I know that it sounds like such a place doesn't exist in Lagos, but even if it's a place that you might not tick all the boxes that you are looking to tick, but you still get close enough to what you are looking for. So we started looking, and we found this particular one small estate. That estate has trees, children can come out to play. I think that's the only one that I saw on the videos that we watched yesterday that stood out for me. That kind of setting is something that I feel is child friendly. So you have a greenery, which is a tick. You have affordable price. I think they've got good water as well in that particular estate. I don't know about the light too much, and I know that these days people are having to sort out their own electricity. So electricity, I would say you can still sort out by yourself. Water in that kind of estate ought to be something that is already up and running. So if the water is not good there, I don't think you can do anything different, And is a developing part of Ibejuleki, this particular place I'm saying. And is in a gated estate, children can play. That's the only place for now that I saw that stood out and is affordable. Every other place that I'm seeing, the prices they are calling are so ridiculous. The ones that, and I noticed that most of the places that they are building houses now, they will just take one plot of land and they will build like a barrack inside the place. There's no play area for the kids. There's no greenery. There's nothing. And they are calling so much amount. Like you are looking at flats. I know in my video I said 500 million, is too much to settle in Nigeria. I know I still agree that it's too much even at this stage, because it's like they don't have anybody regulating the cost of housing, like the prices people put on properties in Nigeria. Nobody seems to be regulating anything in Nigeria. I feel any developer will just call any amount and people will pay. I think there should be some sort of regulation like we do have here in the UK, where if you have an area and houses cost a particular amount in a certain area, and you use like the best things on the whole earth to decorate your own house, it doesn't mean that your house will sell significantly more than your neighbor next door. Because when somebody wants to buy, they will check on the internet and see the price range of houses in that area. So if everybody's houses are costing around 5,000 to 7,000, and because you have used gold and silver to decorate your own house, and you're calling yours for 30 grand, nobody's going to buy that house for 30 grand. It's not going to appreciate to that because of everything you've done in there. The most you can get for it is maybe 1,000 or 2,000 more than the highest selling house in the area, because your house is especially beautiful. That's the only reason why they will buy it, but they will only buy it like a couple of grand more. I don't want to live in a place where I will still feel like I'm in abroad. That's not what I want. That's where everything is gated, and you are not even going to come out of your house because one neighbor doesn't speak to the other neighbor. We get that here already, and we are tired of that. I want a community where the children can still have that sense of community in a safe gated environment where children can still interrelate, play with themselves, ride their bicycle, ride their scooters. Parents can still interact and talk to each other. So far, the only place I've seen that doesn't break the bank at all and looks children friendly is one particular estate that has a lot of greenery, that the flat is big enough to take mother, father, and maybe 2 or 3 children. We are used to small spaces in the UK anyway, so I love something small that I can look after myself. I don't want cleaner. I don't want all those extra flamboyant things. I just want a place where I can raise my kids quietly, for them to enjoy nature, for them to enjoy the people. So that's the kind of environment I'm hoping to get. And this is the only place that ticks the box so far. It's quite far in, but I noticed that there are other gated estates around there as well. So it's not too bad. I just love it because it looks children friendly and it's affordable. So rent versus buy, I would say I'm leaning towards buy. And the only reason because of the ridiculous amount of money that rent is now going for. There are some areas where rent is kind of cheaper, but I don't like those neighborhoods. If you are going to rent like a decent 3-bed flat or a decent 3-bed house, I would say in the neighborhoods that I like, you're talking maybe around 5 million a year. That's a lot. I know that we are used to paying monthly here, but don't forget that when we are in Nigeria, we are not earning like we earn here. Yeah, you earn, you cough it out. So you are just earning and giving it back. But Nigeria, if you are not earning and you are paying 5 million a year, I think you'd struggle. That's just common sense. The lesson is for me to focus on looking for a small place. And that's what myself and the team we were talking about yesterday, the group we were talking about yesterday, that's what we all kind of leaned towards. Some people said they are going to rent. Some people felt rent is better. Still at the stage where we are kind of doing our planning, analyzing, saying our pros and cons, who will stay, who will go, what's the best way to go, should we go together, should somebody stay behind? We've not made those decisions yet. Cost of things in Nigeria and the amount we'll be needing to settle down will determine what decision we make as we progress. So that's what I think. So sad, that individuals are the ones now having to sort their electricity. And even on the mainland as well. I thought mainland was supposed to be cheaper. If you want to stay like around Ikeja, or you want to stay around Omole, or the decent areas in Ogba, around the Ogba Ikeja area. Houses, the new houses they are building now is the same as the ones they are selling in Lekki. There's no difference, even though it's mainland. What's the difference between the mainland and the island? For you to get like a decent 3-bedroom flat, even if it's a flat, not even a house, on the mainland too now, the prices, I don't see the difference. It's just very little difference. Estate like the Delu estate, I saw one video pop up yesterday, and they are talking about 4-bedroom there. They are talking about almost 300 million. That's just too much. There had to be some sort of regulation. I think they are making too much profit. The materials they will use to build house in Ibadan or in Yanokpaja is the same material they will use to build house in Lekki. It's just the cost of land that is different. So why are people making it seem like a cost of material is what is making them put so much amount? Oh, the cost of material has gone up. That's what you'll be hearing. I've not even left the UK. I'm already ranting about Nigeria that I've not even gone to. Solar system. Say if you want extra security for your light so that you can have constant light. I'm hearing the cost. I'm like, oh my goodness, really? So that house, that flat, I'm telling you, is a carcass. Like is carcass. You know what you call carcass? Like empty shell. There's nothing in it. In fact, the walls, because the house has been built for a few years, the walls have to be rescreeded. So you can see the amount of work that needs to be done in that kind of property. And the cost of things, I could not believe the kind of cost that people were talking about. Our Japadians, think about cost of things. I think people are already even discussing it in the group. They're already saying how things are expensive and people keep hammering on living within your means. If you know that rent is what your capacity carry, go for the rent. If you build a barrack inside an estate and a child can just go outside and play and it still disappear inside that estate, you won't even know who took the child or where the child went into. I still don't see that estate being safe, even though it's in a gated place. Because when the houses are too much in a small space and there is no play area, there's no space where you can be watching your child play from outside the window, from through the window, you can be seeing your child playing and monitoring your child from inside the house, and everywhere is just brick, block, brick. There's nothing to see, no greenery, nothing. And you are calling a ridiculous amount of money for that kind of place. If you are thinking of rent versus buy, think about your capacity, your pocket. Think about what you really want for that environment. Think about what you want to gain from that environment. Think about what you are able to afford. Cut your coat according to your material. Stay within your budget so that you won't be frustrated. So as soon as you are getting there, you won't be frustrated to quickly run back to come and pick the job that frustrated you so much that you left to go and get a break, so that break can be worthwhile. Even if it's just you are going to Nigeria for 2-3 years, so that you won't be back in 6 months. Because if you go and rent a place where it's too expensive, or you go and buy a house that you cannot end up paying for. I know most people do payment plan now. So make sure that you don't get yourself into any kind of contract that you'll be struggling to pay for. And also make sure that people keep hammering due diligence. I think that entails you doing your checks on the documentation. Try to do your due diligence before you get yourself entangled into any form of property like that. Having said that, people are sorting themselves, so realtors don't need to come to our page to come and advertise anything. The best thing you can do is to put it on social media. People can see you on there. So please don't bring advertisement to my group. So thank you so much for watching, guys, and catch you on the next one.